Hey guys, this is Eric from Figure Unboxing, and in this video we're going to take a look at Figma number 320, Link from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And this is the deluxe version, so it does come with a lot of accessories. I have been waiting for a good Link figure since 1999, so this figure is like a dream come true to me. I didn't spend that much time with Twilight Princess. I mainly just watched my brother play, but I did play a lot of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Hopefully one day they can still give us the Ocarina of Time version, but I think this version will do just fine. It looks just as good. And I think arguably it makes more sense for them to do this one because the graphics on Ocarina of Time is relatively old. But anyways, here's the left of the box, here is the right of the box, and here's the back of the box. And that's not wasting any more time, and bust this thing open and see what we got. And here's Link still in the inner packaging, and I think since this is a really popular character, Figma really made sure that it doesn't suck. For $80, even though it is a deluxe version, it comes with a lot of stuff. Just look at Deku from My Hero. That figure doesn't come with anything, and it costs just as much, if not higher, because it's a Japanese exclusive. But anyways, other figures definitely gets a shorter end of the stick, but this figure looks amazing. And let's check out the figure itself. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and oh my god, this might be the best Figma I have ever seen. And I know this is not the first time I said best Figma, but keep in mind, every time I say best Figma, it means this one is better than the previous best Figmas, if that makes sense. First of all, it looks so damn good. Like, the paintwork is really clean, the sculpt is really nice, and I thought I was gonna get something very similar to the Skyward Sword one, which I didn't like, because the Skyward Sword one felt very, very clunky, and yeah, this one just feels really agile, and I think he's using all the latest technology from Max Factory. I'm really tempted to just stop the review right here and just tell you guys to go buy one, but obviously we're not going to do that, and let's check out the articulation. And for the articulation, let's quickly go over it from the neck down. He can look up about this much, look down about this much, and he can turn his head no problem. And we have this new design where they put a hinge onto his neck, and I think it works pretty well. And we do have a Figma joint in here for the head, so that gives you a lot more range as well. And I think the most impressive thing here is the shoulder. This kind of reminds me of the Revoltech shoulder, but it works a lot better. It's a very functional ball joint, and it acts like a butterfly as well. It's gonna look a little bit awkward when you try to pose like that, but you know, in some angle where you can hide the joints well, he can do some crazy stuff, and we're gonna try that later. And you do have the swivel through the shoulder and the bicep as well. So yeah, it's a lot of range. I really like that. And of course, you have the ball wrist. And we have a Figma joint for the acorn, so you can bend forward about this much, bend backwards about this much, and you can move side to side. Let me show you guys what it looks like. It looks like that, and all these are on a softer material, so you won't have to worry about this hinder your articulation at all. And the only downside in terms of articulation for this figure is the skirt. But the material is still really soft. Like, compared to the SH Figuarts Itachi, like, this thing is rock hard. Like, this is not too bad. And you can raise his leg about this much, you can bend about this much, and you do have the side-to-side pivot with the Figma joint, and you have the toe hinge. And that's it for the articulation. I think the engineers did a pretty good job with the articulation, and let's jump straight into the accessories. And for the accessories, let's start with the default face like usual, and I think it looks amazing. They pretty much nailed it. Next up, we have a teeth grinding expression, and I think it looks really good as well. Lastly, we get an angry shouting face, and thankfully they're all looking straight. For some reason, I don't know what it is, I just don't like it when company give you like interchangeable faces that is staring left and right. I just don't like them. And next up, we have a rack of hands, and let's try them on one by one. First off, we have a pair of display open hands, and these are very standard for Figma figures, and it looks pretty good. And next up, we have a pair of hands for him to hold the accessories, and we have the Hylian shield over here. It's very nicely painted and sculpted. It just looks very beautiful. And of course, we have the Master's sword and a scabbard. And this time, you can actually fit the sword into the scabbard. I'm really happy they did this. Like, we haven't seen this kind of like design for a very long time. And of course, you can take this part off and slide it onto his hand so it won't chip the paint as much. And let's try this out. Here I have him assembled with a sword and shield, and it looks very, very good. I like it a lot. And of course, we can do something more dynamic. And because of the new shoulder design, he can do this kind of pose very, very easily. Like, no hassle whatsoever. Like, it's very, very easy to do. And of course, you can put the shield onto his back, and I love this figure. And next up, he has another sword, and I don't play the game, so I don't know why he has this, but it's a very nice looking sword. I like it, and let's try this out. And here I have him assembled with the alternative sword, and it looks really amazing as well. I really like the red. And next up, we have the infamous hook shot. It's very nicely painted and sculpted. I really like how it's like so rusty and stuff. And you can change this into when he actually fires it. And let's try this out. Alright, so here I have him assembled with a hook shot. It is a little bit heavy for his wrist, but it's not too bad. And you're going to have to use the stand anyways. And here I have him firing the hook shot. It is a little bit annoying to pull this off, but you do have the option. And next up, we have the wrecking ball. Of course, it's very nicely painted and sculpted. And this thing is actually a solid piece, so it's really heavy. You will have to use a stand. I don't think I'm ever going to use this again, but it's still nice to have the option. And let's try it out. And here I have him assemble the wrecking ball. And this thing actually works with the Tamashii stage, so that's pretty nice. And then we get an interchangeable hairpiece for the mask, and it looks very, very good. And lastly, he came with a pair of hands for him to use the bow and arrow, and I have the bow over here, very nicely painted and sculpted, of course, and you can take these off and slide onto his hand as well. And here is the actual arrow, and let's try this out. And here I have him assembled with the bow and arrow. It looks amazing. And these poses wouldn't have been possible without the awesome shoulder design. Props to the R&D team. And let's give him a round of applause. And I think that's it for the accessories. And let's jump straight into the size comparison. For the size comparison, let us start with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures because a lot of people are familiar with these. Yeah, Link's got a pretty good size and I think they look very good together. And next up, we have the SH Figuarts Naruto figures and they look pretty awesome. And next up, we have the SH Figuarts Street Fighters and Masco One-Tail Punisher in red. And then we have the amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man and Venom and Revoltech Raiden. And then we have SH Figuarts Tony Stark, Anakin Skywalker, Bruce Lee, and Obi-Wan. And then we have some recent Kamen Rider SH Figuarts. And lastly, we have some recent Figma figures, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I highly recommend the figure. I don't have anything bad to say about the figure. It's got great articulation, amazing paintwork, beautiful sculpt, and it comes with a lot of accessories. And I don't think you really need the deluxe version because most of the accessories I'm never going to use again. But it's still nice to have. And I think Figma poured all their resources on this guy. So for all the shitty Figma we got recently, the ones I'm talking about are the ones that doesn't come with enough accessories. They put all their costs on this guy. So you're actually doing yourself a favor for getting this guy. But that is just my opinion. It's up for you to decide. And if this is your first time buying a Figma or like, you know, just action figures for adult, I think you should totally go for it. Like this guy is worth it. Yeah, I think that's it. And don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. And this is Eric. I'll see you guys in the next video. And I'm doing Zelda next. So peace.